Hey guys. So at St. Mary's Polish National Catholic Church, you'll find Polish people. At the Hungarian Reformed Church, you'll find Hungarians. And at Holy Trinity Ukrainian Orthodox Church, you'll find Ukrainians. But what churches in America would Lemkos and Rusnaks go to? Let's find out.
Study. It's my Lemko study.
When Lemkos and Rusnaks first started to arrive in America in the 1870s, the vast majority of them were Greek Catholics. In the beginning, Greek Catholic churches in America were under the jurisdiction of the Roman Catholic Church. Now, during this time, the Roman Catholic hierarchy was not fully aware of the differences between Greek Catholicism and Roman Catholicism. For example, unlike Roman Catholic priests, Greek Catholic priests can marry, and the church property traditionally belonged to the individual parish rather than to the local bishop. Now, for this and other differences, the Roman Catholic bishops would consider Greek Catholicism as unacceptable and oftentimes not acknowledge the credentials of the Greek Catholic priests, while at the same time, the Greek Catholic parish would be reluctant to sign over the church property over to the Roman Catholic bishop. So you could definitely say there was some culture clash. The most well-known example of this is when in 1889, Greek Catholic priest and Rusnak Alexis Todt arrived in Minneapolis, Minnesota to serve a Greek Catholic parish, but the local Archbishop John Ireland refused him from serving his parish. In response, Alexis Todt and his parishioners all converted over to Orthodoxy and joined the only Orthodox church in America at that time, the North American Diocese of the Russian Orthodox Church. Now, at this time, the church had already existed and was mainly active on the West Coast, but it grew substantially on the East Coast thanks to these new converts. Using the rationale that Orthodoxy was the faith of their forefathers, Alexis Todt went all over the country, helping convert Greek Catholic parishes over to Orthodoxy. Other ethnic groups, such as Greeks and Serbs, were also part of the North American Diocese of the Russian Orthodox Church, but eventually left to form their own ethnic churches. Lemkos and Rusnaks, in general, tended to stay within the North American Diocese of the Russian Orthodox Church, along with Russians. And eventually, this church was renamed the Orthodox Church of America. In the next few decades, more and more Greek Catholics arrived in America such that they soon needed their own bishop. So, as part of Vatican Decree Ea Semper, Bishop Soter Ortyński in 1907 arrived in America to fill this role. Being that he was a Ukrainian from Galicia, in charge of the Greek Catholic Church in America, which included Lemkos and Rusnaks, this was undesired by non-Ukrainian oriented Lemkos and Rusnaks from the Hungarian kingdom, such that they started to leave the Greek Catholic Church and convert over to Orthodoxy. To settle this conflict and prevent more Greek Catholics from converting over to Orthodoxy, the Vatican decided to split the Greek Catholic Church into two jurisdictions. The first would be for Ukrainians and Lemkos from Galicia, and eventually became known as the Ukrainian Greek Catholic Church. And the second would be for Rusnaks, as well as other ethnic groups from the Hungarian kingdom, and became known as the Byzantine Catholic Church. In 1929, there was another issue happening with the Greek Catholic Church in America. This time, the Vatican decreed cum data fuerit, which meant that no more married priests can serve a Greek Catholic parish. So in response, Greek Catholics once again started to leave the Greek Catholic Church and convert over to Orthodoxy. But unlike Todt and his followers, they didn't join the North American Diocese of the Russian Orthodox Church. The reason was because they wanted to maintain their distinctive Rusin elements, such as their recension of Church Slavonic and Prostopinia, and they feared Russification of their church. So they created the Carpatho-Russian Orthodox Greek Catholic Church. Today, it is known as the American Carpatho-Russian Orthodox Diocese. So when you see a church nowadays with Russian Orthodox Greek Catholic in the name, chances are that church used to be Greek Catholic, but converted over to Orthodoxy at some point. Now, if you want to see and find out whether a Russian Orthodox church in America was originally founded by Lemkos and Rusnaks, here's one way to find out.
Here is Saints Peter and Paul Russian Orthodox Cathedral in Passaic, New Jersey. I will read a little bit of the parish history. When reading the parish history, pay attention to the region of where the founders came from, as well as the names of the founders, and understand that at one point some Lemkos and Rusnaks considered themselves to be Russian. The founders of Saints Peter and Paul Russian Orthodox Cathedral in Passaic, New Jersey, were comprised of Russian immigrants who came to this country from the former Austro-Hungarian Empire, primarily from a small geographic area of the Carpathian Mountains in the region of Galicia, the present-day border between Slovakia and Poland. So, Russian immigrants from the former Austro-Hungarian Empire, from Galicia, in the Carpathian Mountains, I would say it is highly likely that these founders were in fact Lemkos and Rusnaks.
So to summarize, four main churches in America that Lemkos and Rusnaks belonged to and played a major role in developing are the Orthodox Church of America, the Ukrainian Greek Catholic Church, the Byzantine Catholic Church, and the American Carpatho-Russian Orthodox Diocese. Also, as a general rule of thumb, Lemkos tended to be parishioners of either the Orthodox Church of America or the Ukrainian Greek Catholic Church, whereas Rusnaks from Zakarpattian Slovakia tended to be parishioners of either the American Carpatho-Russian Orthodox Diocese or the Byzantine Catholic Church.